The 2018 FIM International 6 Days of Enduro reaches its midweek phase, with the reigning champions only leading one of the three World Trophy classes. With a new course opened for the third and fourth days of competition, opportunities to upset the early pecking order were certainly presented, although chances of making large gains were reduced in such demanding circumstances. A tortuous, near 300-kilometre course tracks east for the first time towards the city of Limache before returning to familiar territory, with 2 laps of 3 specials to be timed. Conditions have been challenging for the riders throughout the week in Viña del Mar, and after a series of crashes at the La Laja Enduro test on the first lap, the decision was taken to cancel the second run through the special, leaving the competitors with a reduced programme of 5 to negotiate.
Yeah, for sure. On the first lap there was too much dust and there were too much accidents also. So for a security reason, we decided not to make the second pass in Alaja today, and we will study a way to make it twice tomorrow.
A disappointing day for host nation Chile dropped them back from the tail of Spain in 6th and down to 8th. The loss of their fastest rider this week, Benjamin Herrera, leaves them up against it. And with their weak link, Gabriel Balut, now counting, they've begun to drop out of contention. Christophe Nambatin enjoyed his best performance so far this week with 5th place individually, as France closed the gap to Italy. With such a sizable deficit to recover though, finishing 3rd on the day is far from the result needed by the reigning champions, who look likely to struggle just to make it onto the podium. Almost 8 minutes lost to a fuel problem in the final special have ended Alex Salvini's run within the top 10 this week, and also cost Italy valuable time compared to the 3 teams around them in the standings. By contrast, after a slow start to the day, Giacomo Redondi enjoyed his best performance of the week so far, mitigating somewhat his teammates' struggles. Nonetheless, at the week's halfway mark, there's now a 6-minute spread between the top 3. With only 18th position in the day's individual results, after problems in the third special, Ryan Sipes has dropped back from the top runners in individual timesheets, USA losing out in the process and conceding further ground to leaders Australia. For the second consecutive day, Stuart Baylor was the second best American rider. Daniel Milner extends his lead individually, while Australia's advantage grows out in front. Now 3 minutes clear of their nearest rivals, the men from Down Under gained almost 2 minutes on day 3 alone to make themselves favourites for the title. Josh Strang in particular impressed, faster than all but one of the USA's representatives to help build that gap.
It's been dusty. I haven't ridden in dust like this for, honestly, probably not a long time. So, unfortunately, all these guys at the front are world-class guys, and we're all catching each other's dust. So, unless you're Milner, Sanders, or Robert, it's unfortunate. And that's just the way it goes. There's nothing we can do about it. Hopefully, maybe they'll give us 30 seconds tomorrow in the tests, and might make it a little better. But yeah, I'm just putting in third place results here for Team Australia, but it's what I got to do, and Milner and Sanders are riding really good.
A crash for Cristobal Guerrero in the day's first special cost Spain a higher ranking on day 3, and they remain 5th overall. France outpace Italy for the first time, but still have over a minute to make up in the 3 remaining days. Meanwhile, the fall of Chile from 6th to 8th is the main change to the rankings in the last 24 hours. Differing fortunes for the teams who started day 3 of the Junior Trophy in 5th and 6th positions. Finland appear consigned to 8th after they became the 4th team to lose a rider this week. The nation's top performer, Ronnie Kaitanen, eventually retiring from the action after a spectacular crash earlier in the day. Chile, by contrast, enjoyed their best day so far and moved up to 4th, inspired by reigning World Youth Champion Rui Barbosa and by the enthusiastic crowds. The hosts finished 3rd on the day and leapfrog Australia. France also lost ground to the home hopefuls. Hugo Blanjou struggling with the effects of a day 2 crash and finishing over 1.5 minutes slower than his teammates. Josh Toth enjoyed a standout day as fastest US junior for the first time this week, but not even a solid performance from the current number 2 team could help them close the gap to the dominant Italians. Losing a further 40 seconds on day 3, the USA now sit over 3 minutes back.
3.5 minutes.
Davide Sareka has played second fiddle to his teammates so far this week, but he has continued to provide a valuable contribution. And with their third rider coming home 5th fastest junior on day 3, Italy continue to show a united front as they keep up their unbroken run of day victories.
I'm
really happy with the team. We are in first, with a 3-minute advantage over the USA. Now we're in the middle of the 6 days, so it's important to maintain this gap. I'm really happy, because for myself, I didn't really expect such good results. I finished 5th yesterday and 6th today, which is good. Now I will aim to keep this speed right to the end of the last cross test.
Questo gap e stare, diciamo, più lucidi possibili.
Third place for Chile on day 3 moves them 4th overall, although they continue to rely too heavily on one rider, and the junior trophy is increasingly a 2-horse race between Italy and the USA. A gap of over 5 minutes has now emerged behind the top 2, while Chile gain on France in the battle for 3rd. In the Women's World Trophy, only Australia had a relatively straightforward ride. For Spain, Sandra Gomez conceded a 1-minute penalty and further time helping a stricken teammate. But the retirement of Gabriela Seisdedos was of greater concern for the team, even as they finished second on the day. In the first rally, after the first special, I had to go really fast. I did arrive 3 or 4 minutes late, fueled up and carried on. But as for the special, I can only remember passing 2 other girls, and after that I must have hit something. I don't really know where I fell. I didn't really know where I was, but I managed to get out. Now I'm feeling a bit better. My head hurts, but I feel okay, and the bike is ready for tomorrow. I hope to be at the start line, ready to help my team keep 3rd place. Rebecca Sheets enjoyed her first counting day for the USA, but the team's strong start unravelled at the week's halfway mark as they could only finish 3rd on the day and drop over 3 minutes to the leaders. Australia are now 6 minutes clear, even though Taylor Jones struggled to match her previous exploits, finishing top on day 3, but by less than 3 seconds. Jessica Gardner instead was responsible for the majority of her team's midweek gains, finishing 3 minutes faster than America's 2nd fastest performer.
Yesterday moved forward a little bit with 4th. Today I think I just missed out and finished 5th, but it was pretty crazy out there. It was a bit of chaos with the women. Obviously the back end of the trophy guys are starting to lose minutes and they're sort of mixed up with the girls everywhere, so we're having to pass a lot of guys in the tests, and as you've seen, one test was cancelled today, so it's super dusty. We don't see much. We're on our face half the time and getting back up and trying to battle in the dust. So it was a pretty crazy day, but all in all, bike's going perfect and I'm healthy, so looking forward to tomorrow.
Spain beat the USA on day 3, but make little impression on their overall advantage in the battle for 2nd behind leaders Australia. With 6 minutes between each of the top 4 teams and only 2 full days remaining, the women's trophy rankings are starting to look largely settled.